We're live.
What's up, guys? Welcome to this episode. Shut the f***.
Hey, relax. I didn't know we were going live. What show are we doing?
What's up, guys? Welcome to this episode of Beers and Breakdown. Down. Woo!
Hey, Ball.
Abel's over there. In this episode, we're doing SEAL Team episode 10.
It's a good episode.
It is a good episode.
They're all good episodes.
Good. I haven't found a bad one yet.
No. Look at this.
Look at this. Look at this. FNG Academy boot. We're just talking about how awesome it is. This boot, guys, I'm telling you, this is the coolest boot ever made for military. We were at SHOT Show last year, and this last SHOT Show, and we were talking to some major boot companies, and it was funny because they didn't know that we had come up with our own boot. And these major companies, the designers were telling us they think the future is zero drop wide toe box boots. And we were just smiling on the inside because we know because we've been working on that for the past year and a half. So inside we're just like, thank you for confirming what we already know. And you know why it's taking them so long is because they weren't Green Berets. They haven't rucked miles and miles and miles on boots and seen the deficiencies. They're civilians who are just like throwing things at the wall to see what sticks. And no offense to them, they're doing the best they can with what they got. But it's a different story when you have two Green Berets who have rucked way too many miles and found all the deficiencies in the boots.
Going through many different types of boots, trying to find one that works, and all you're doing is finding the one that sucks the least.
Exactly.
Basically.
Still, my favorite boot is horrible for my feet.
Yeah.
So now
there's always a trade-off. Until now,
we have the FNG Academy boot, true wide toe box, so your feet could actually splay while you're rucking. The grip is amazing. These studs are reversed, so you get just as much traction going downhill as you do going uphill. You get a nice little heel grip. So if you're doing that loose rock like in selection, the loose gravel on those roads, that you're not slipping and eating crap, because the last thing you want to do is fall downhill when you have an apparatus on your back. So the grip is awesome. We did flat laces, so for the top of your feet, it could disperse all that tension. A double finger loop, so that way in the winter, if you have gloves on and you have your winter socks on, you actually have something to hold on to and to pull your boot on. And Kurt told an awesome story last time, and it's kind of what inspired this. Is he in small unit tactics, he lost the dexterity of his hands, and when you have to change in SUT, you got to change now. Yeah. And so a lot of times it's a risk to put on or take off snivel gear, because once you move out, you have to be ready. And he lost the dexterity in his hands, and he wasn't able to get his boot back on because he didn't have something like this to pull it on. So we truly thought of everything that we could, and we think that we designed the best boot. Boop. Now,
God, please be careful.
On to the show. Why? What's back there?
The screen is laying like that. I was like, please don't.
Thought it was the dog.
You actually have to throw it pretty hard to land on it, but...
So right on the floor behind us, Abel has $1,000 bowed screen. We almost just broke his expensive screen. Oh, man, I feel bad.
All right, SEAL Team episode 10.
All right, SEAL Team episode 10, another banger.
Move!
It kind of threw me off, and I understand why they did it. Filming wise, it's really annoying to go like actually dark and then run nods, because then the audience can't see anything. So they did it like daytime, but then also use nods. So you just have to like give them the liberty of saying, this is at night, but we're also going to allow you to see what's going on.
Yeah, otherwise it would be kind of pointless.
It's so pointless, because then you could only see from the perspective of nods, and then they narrow it so much to where really that should be just like a couple seconds, not like the whole scene. Yeah. So that was an interesting choice they did to do that. But
I like how it goes through and just showing the tactics. Like when the girl gets hit and now you're down a man because that guy has to stay there and control the prisoners or whatever, the captives. and then they're going through, they're finding the AKs, they're racking it, getting all the rounds out of it, so nobody can just pick it up and use it again right away. And just the tactics in this show are just incredible.
Yeah, they did a great job. And then, you know, things happen. He went to take the shot. It was a good shot, and then she jumped in front of it at the last second.
Hey, it's a forever changing environment, and things happen. People get hurt.
Let me help my daughter, please.
He speaks English.
Yeah, that's exactly what I just said. Please, let me help her. I'm begging you.
Listen, man, she's in good hands, all right? I'm gonna take good care of her. Get him in the other room.
Aisha,
Keep him quiet. Keep him quiet. Come on. Let's go.
why are you doing this? Why are you doing? Please, please, Aisha. Aisha.
Is it Tom Wyatt? Is it Tom Wyatt?
Brock, get upstairs. Keep her quiet, will you? Copy that.
When he said that, like, get upstairs, keep him quiet, like, the whole scene kind of just brought me back to Afghanistan and how disorienting it could be with people screaming.
Oh, yeah.
It just throws everything off. It's just like you're trying to focus. You got a job to do, and people screaming, asking questions, yelling different things. This guy's yelling over here. She's yelling up there. People screaming, like, just out of fear. It's like you start to hit, like, at least for me, like, you hit a threshold of your senses, like a sensory overload.
Yeah.
And it's like, please just shut up so I could do my job and I could focus. But obviously they don't care about your job.
I mean, for him, he's trying to stick to a timeline. He's trying to keep everything organized. He's trying to gather all the intel, and he's moving all these pieces around. And then you got somebody just screaming their head off like that, which for them, this is a very stressful situation as well. You know, they're in the middle of the night asleep, and now all of a sudden you've got people busting in your house, shooting your daughter
Kid
and
gets
stuff.
shot. Like, oh,
So
I'd be flipping out.
I definitely get it. Yeah, I mean, we'd be doing the same thing, but it's just crazy to see. And that's what the show does such a good job of showing, is just the chaos that ensues in a situation like this. And for Jason having to manage all these pieces, and it's just like, it's a lot. Yeah.
One thing about this episode I like as well is that it reminds me of as being a cop. When you, or actually Afghanistan as well, when you get intel that something is somewhere, and you do a whole mission to go do it, you really want to find that thing, because especially if something goes wrong, now you want to justify why you were there in the first place. Because if you don't find that thing, your intel was wrong, then it's like, it's hard to like compartmentalize all the things that happen, and you just were making a mistake the whole time.
Like, God forbid one of your guys gets hurt.
Yeah.
For what?
Yeah, and
For
then
nothing at this
because
point.
your intel sucked.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? Kurt from the FNG Academy here. If you have any interest in becoming a Green Beret or joining Special Operations, I want to invite you to check us out at our Patreon. We've currently got over 100 videos in the catalog there. We post new videos weekly. We do a monthly giveaway as well. Come over and check us out. We have a few different tiers, everything from just supporting the channel to our FNG Extras tier, which will get you access to our weekly videos, and then all the way up to a mentorship tier, which will get you bi-weekly calls with one of our Green Beret mentors that will help you get mentally prepared and mentally ready to go to selection and succeed. So make sure you check us out at our team room. That is patreon.com/FNG Academy. We can't wait to see you there.
It says we stay until we find that phone. She may not have that long. She's lost a lot of blood.
It's too low. I can't read anything.
Command believes the lies we might say finding that phone outweighs this life.
That scene was really cool. Like, the whole thing about how low the new guy is because he shot her, and like how terrible he feels and responsible he feels. It doesn't matter if it was a justified shooting. Like, every operator feels responsible for every bullet, and it's really, really hard to stomach making mistakes. The higher you get, the harder it is to stomach mistakes. And so even at the Green Beret level, we're expected to not make mistakes. We're expected to have trained mistakes out of our actions when it's live. So having made like almost fatal mistakes myself, it is really traumatizing, and it sticks with you for a really long time. Years it took me to get over almost, killing someone with a 320 lobbing next to my leg. It's just like when you make mistakes, it's horrible, a horrible feeling.
Well, I mean, because you hold yourself to such a high standard, and the team holds you to a high standard, and you have to uphold that standard. And so something like this, I mean, this could affect not only his standing on the team, but this could eventually get him sidelined or benched if you make them, especially at this level, if you're making these kind of mistakes.
And you
like,
don't
he can
even
get kicked off the team eventually.
You just don't even feel like you should be there anymore.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to start self-doubting himself or doubting himself. And now he's trying to do everything he can to save her. And you got Jason being like, look, that's not the mission. I know you messed up, but that's not the mission. We got to, divert our attention elsewhere and find this phone or whatever piece of intel they're trying to gather. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it does a good job of showing the struggle, especially as a new guy on the team.
Yeah.
And, just the team guy making a mistake overall.
Harmed us. My children deserve a future. My daughter is going to be a doctor like her father.
What is your husband's name?
Haddad Saeed Bashar.
Does he have a second mobile phone?
I told you no.
Does he have a computer?
I already told you at his work.
God, they nail the God. They're so good at their show. We use quarterback sleeves in Afghanistan as well. Quarterback sleeves are awesome for taking notes, for keeping foreign languages, commands, get down, come here, drop the weapon. In Pashto, Arabic, you could write all that stuff down there, keep notes. Quarterback sleeves are just an amazing tool used by special operations. So we could always have something to write on without having to try to find a pad of paper or pull something out or sweat through it. Quarterback sleeves are an amazing tool, and only somebody who's done enough research to really cares about looking the part would have used that as a tool and picked up on that.
Opposed to the shows that we watched yesterday with Trigger Warning, where they just slap an ops core on somebody and call them an operator.
Right.
It's they're actually going through and using actual equipment, which is awesome.
Vetting their gear. I bet at this point all these actors could fully jump in a mission and kit themselves out.
Oh yeah.
And,
or you see the team room video or footage when they're in the team rooms. That's a legit team room with legit gear that's in all the cages and stuff. So
yeah, so they sell the part so perfectly, and just having Neil Brown just being just confidently taking notes on his quarterback sleeve, asking the questions, everything. He clearly went to training on interrogation, because everything, especially I learned as a cop, was every detail matters, and you always want to get people to confirm as many details as possible, because then as they start rapidly confirming the truth, you can rapid confirm as fast as you want.
yeah.
It won't change anything. But when it's a lie, it's really hard to rapid confirm like that. Mm-hmm. So it'd be well, who's your husband? Where does he work for? How long has he been there? All those little details, people typically don't have those worked out in a lie.
Yeah.
So he's just rapidly firing these questions, because if it's a truth, it'll flow and make sense. If it's not the truth, they don't want to pause, so they'll hit you with lies. And then you could start putting the lies together once you get a minute and realize, oh, okay, this doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense.
And it's good example of tactical questioning. Mm-hmm. They've got her separated, so other people can't hear her responses. Yep. So now they could play everybody's responses off of each other. So it's a good scene.
It is. I love it.
I'm gonna kill her with a bullet. I can kill her with a blood clot. Nice. Okay, good. Open the roller clamp. Squeeze the bag. Alright. How long until she gets that rush of oxygen you were talking about? Anytime.
I think that's really cool that they're focusing on actual medical care in this.
Yeah.
Doing a blood transfusion, or is it not a transfusion? They're just giving her blood from the mom because they're out of blood.
Yeah, same.
Is it a transfusion?
I think so, yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm a doctor on the internet.
but no, that's good, right? She's losing blood. They don't have a hospital, but they have a mom who's a close relative. And so there's a good chance that the blood is going to be the same. Mm-hmm. So, the other options at that point, which I don't think you would ever do, if it was a teammate that went down, you might do a walking blood bank where I would be giving you my blood if we had the same blood type.
Ew.
Ew. It's inside of me.
Ew, get out of
You
here.
imagine all the jokes after that? Oh, man. But yeah, so I like that. How
if I gave another soldier my blood and he stayed alive, he now has to call me dad. Because I fathered him.
It's true, yeah.
I'm inside of him.
It's like you owe a debt at that point.
Yeah, like you have me inside you.
A debt that can never be fully repaid.
I put my fluids in you.
That's disgusting. He's like, just let me die. I never asked for that blood.
I would have never looked there.
No.
Dude, you would have had me, man.
That's a good hiding spot.
That was a really good hiding spot. I would have never looked in the drain hole. I also, when I was a cop, we had a bunch of gangbangers selling dope on the street corner, and we like put them all in custody, separated them, and then we did the same thing that Buckley did in this one, where he's like, all right, let's go after the youngest one and see if we can get information. And went to the youngest. He was selling crack. I think he was like 13.
Jeez.
And I told him, I was like, dude, we're calling your mom.
Oh, no.
He was like, no. I was like, you might go to jail, bro. I was like, you're selling crack. I was like, you're at least going to juvenile hall. And I was like, so you need to give us some information. Like, what's going on? Help us out. And he's like, there's a bag in the chicken hut under the counter. And I was like, all right, thanks. I opened the bag. There's like 8 guns in there.
Jeez.
So instead of, when they're all standing on the street corner, instead of having their guns on them, right? Because they don't want to get arrested and having, because a lot of them have felony records. So they don't want to do jail time. So they'll put their guns all in a pack and then put it in a, hide it somewhere.
Somewhere they could grab it real quick.
Somewhere they can grab it real quick. So if somebody starts popping off, they run in, everybody grabs their guns, comes out, shoots, put it back in the bag, and then no one gets caught with the guns.
Jeez, and he sold them out.
Sold them out, dude. That's what happens when you start hiring kids to sell crack for you.
He's not going to have a good track record as a crack dealer.
No.
His career is not going to go very well. You can't be doing that. Well, I think it's interesting here that you've got Sonny, who typically would be the last person I would want questioning a child. Like, the character doesn't seem like he's kind of rough around the edges. Like, he's not the compassionate one, but he's actually able to kind of get the information, connect with the kid and get the information. So
I think it's funny that Buckley gave him, the kid for first two, was like, gave him glow sticks.
Yeah.
And it, like, such an American thing to do, right? We're so terrible at, like, being nice.
Yeah.
Like, all of a sudden, we're like, here, you want this? Like, no, we don't want your glow sticks, dude. Like,
he's like, oh, cool.
Yeah. It's like, not every kid from a third world country just wants your things.
A piece of gum?
Yeah, here's a piece of candy.
Chocolate?
We think, like, we're so naive. We think we could just solve everyone's problems by giving them something.
Lollipop?
Here's a gift. I just shot your sister. Here's a glow stick. You can wave it around your face and have like a little mini rave. You don't know what that is? Oh, it's a party, dude. Go have fun.
Guarantee that we could squeeze one extra person on board a helo and maybe even lift off. I cannot guarantee that anyone will make it very far.
What he said. Sir.
That was the only scene that bothered me, is they really went hard on this army general trying to make him look like a total douchebag. But the general knows the mission plan. So the fact that he has to explain why he can't pull more people out or do all this stuff and how many birds they have and all that, that would have been all part of the mission briefing that the general would have sat in on if he's overseeing the operation.
Yeah, you would hope.
You would hope. I guess
he's also a general, so he's
also
probably
general.
got somebody else that he would rely on to do that.
Yeah, they could do whatever they want and they come in later. And
I've edited out many segments from this show based on your opinion of generals.
Really?
Yes.
What is he saying, Asif? There is no Asif.
There is. Asif is from the mosque. I thought they were just friends.
She's such a good actress.
You must be forcing her to help him.
The mom?
La. Agali asawi Aisha.
Scotty! She's just a little girl.
La. Marahma, that's good. Wani mani sagira. I'm a soldier of God.
I thought it was a nice little twist at the end.
Yeah.
So the whole time,
it was her the whole time.
He's feeling terrible about how he shot this innocent girl who's going to grow up and be a doctor, and then come to find out she's a terrorist responsible for the death of like 35 Americans.
That's the one they wanted to shoot the whole time.
Yeah.
I know inside he's going, yes.
Yeah. He's like,
Yes.
ended up shooting a terrorist.
That was me. I did it.
I killed Bin Laden. They're like, you killed Bin Laden? Like, well, no, but I killed that chick that I shot her on accident. She turned out to be pretty bad too.
He went from thinking he was going to get fired and kicked off the team to all of a sudden being the hero.
Yeah. So I thought that was an awesome little twist. So great episode, right?
Yeah.
Tactics were on point. Acting's on point. These guys are killing it with the wardrobe and the all the tactical experience, like the look, everything feels right. There's no, for me, like wife drama, significant. Okay, we'll say significant other drama. I don't know why they want to add that into the show, but that's beside the point. So we did a whole show without any of that, and you got a nice little twist at the end. It was like an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Oh,
what a twist!
It was, yeah. I do enjoy how the whole scene or the whole show took place at this house. Basically, it was
Smart.
just this one mission, and so that was pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, and it was good. It was a great show, great episode. I loved it. All right, guys, there it is. Another episode of SEAL Team hits it right on the mark, man. We're just gonna keep going on these because you guys like watching them, and honestly, why wouldn't you? Because if you're looking to us to give any kind of like, tactical opinion or something, we're not gonna do much better than each episode of SEAL Team so far because these are hitting it harder than most movies coming out. Most, I mean, we've already done the really, really good ones, The Lone Survivor, 13 Hours. Unfortunately, there's only so many of those gems out there. So it really feels like SEAL Team episodes are the next best thing from those like really true kick-ass war movies. But what movies do you guys want us to watch and to review and to check out? And I see a lot of you guys talking about Call of Duty, which I get. I'm a huge Call of Duty player, but I'm not exactly sure. Like I just play the Resurgence, so I don't know like the missions you guys are talking about us reviewing. So let me know what that is. It's so realistic and the graphics are so good in Call of Duty now. I get why you'd want us to like look at it because it's like almost like a little movies.
Yeah. Find a specific mission and
yeah, we'll check it
we'll
out.
load it up and see what we can do.
See what we
See what we
Wheels fell off on that one.